it's hard. I know I'm better off just restarting, but you still own my heart, and I want more than anything to just move on. Whoa, I'm still hurting in my mind. Whoa, got a feeling that this time. Whoa,
Welcome everybody
without
to the
you.
fourth episode of Rolling Until Ragnarok summer miniseries, The First Shuffle. Ah, man, it feels like we haven't played in a while. Hey, everybody say hi.
Hey, hi everyone.
I'm so excited. We will insert me talking about our sponsor, Techno Organic, right here. Everybody, Rolling Until Ragnarok is sponsored by Techno Organic today. You know what? Techno Organic is an edutainment business that combines education and entertainment for learning and fun. And while they boast that they really work with girls and boys all ages from 7 to 16, this is something that can really affect and really help with any kind of business, anybody in general. If you want to do something very unique and something outside the box that is going to be memorable for your brand, hit up Techno Organic, talk to them. They can create really in-depth VR experiences, online experiences that you're not going to see anywhere else. This will probably be one of the first times that your audience has ever seen this. It's incredible. Another fun secret, if you play Fortnite, you need to go ahead, use the code that is on the screen right now, and hop into that lobby, play this very unique experience that they've built out in Fortnite. And I mean, zipping around the map, playing this like very arena-based version of Fortnite is so much fun. I'm not a huge fan of Fortnite, but when I do play Fortnite, this is going to be the way I do it. My friends and I were in here for hours on end, having a ball, and I guarantee you will be too. And that is just a drop in the bucket of what they're able to do. TechnoOrganic.app. Check them out. They're the future. It's right now. Have a good one. Awesome. And now, let's go ahead and begin.
Gotta love Techno Organic.
We all do. Actually,
Big fan.
remind me to tell you about it at the end, because it is actually fucking cool as shit. I'm super hype about this. So last time we ended on a little bit of a time skip, 3-month jump. During those 3 months, we had a couple things that happened. And I'll just go ahead and recap. Duntal, you moved all of the north to below into the jungle. You erected a memorial for Rock and minorly Latine, but where that was, you built the rock. That's the center of near the waterfall, so it was a good spot. It's also a very easy spot to protect. You guys erected the camp kind of towards the outskirts of that. It's a pretty large city. After 3 months, you guys are nomads after all. You're used to having to move very quickly and erect large things. That being said, it has been 3 months of battle. Basically, Bilal got injured. You guys have fought red dragonlings, demons, assassins. It is literally a constant campaign, which has made all of your orcs very happy. I mean, this is kind of their bread and butter. It's as long as there's constant battle, there's also constant peace amongst the tribes. So while there is a silver lining to it, it has been a lot. Ivan has taken over the head of the Warden's Council and has been walking around being that face for the people. All the elves only look to him. There are a sect of Angelicans even that are very, very specifically devoted to Ivan and the Wardens, quote unquote, through guidance of Jathir. Ivan has taken over a lot of the runnings of and the ongoings of what's going on up high in Rael. Belzoct has made his own personal vanguard that has been there to help Jathir fight and do battle. There has been a lot of assassination attempts on the higher up Angelicans as well through these shadow figures and some of these like demonic assassins, very much the same ones that Duskara killed near the waterfall. Every time you guys are about to try and grab one, they kill themselves or tear their tongue out, or it's very much. But it is pretty understood at this point that they are entropies, assassins there to kind of cause chaos. Is the best way to put it. Belzoct has been fairly hardened by all this. He is kind of like a man on a mission at this point. He is very much like entropy needs to die. He's ready to wage war on everything. They know that they're coming from the north. It is a fairly crazy deal. What just happened?
I don't know.
Did Discord like flip everyone else around for you too?
Yeah, that was really weird.
Oh, I changed my name.
Oh, well, that's fine. That's fine. Everything looks fine. We're gonna keep going. That was just really fun. Thumbs up.
No, I didn't know it was going to do that.
No worries.
Editor, cut that part out, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it though because I'm gonna forget to do that. Here we go. Let's see. We did that. Doontal. Amber. Amber has spent almost 3 months in heavy focus. She's been honing her skills of creation, basically learning everything she possibly can from you, Zahir. And during this time, she built this really wonderful set of armor and this large black, almost primordial looking obsidian sword. And while you watched it and believed that she was building it for herself, at the end she offers it to you. She named one Breath, and the armor is up for you to kind of name, but it's this large dark stone plated armor that very much is able to emanate primordial magic that you've taught her as she's gone. It's crafted very well. She would bring it to you, or bring you to it, and ask if she may gift it to you because she knows that soon war will come to where we're at. And while there are notes of her being scared, she is very much focused.
Zahir would absolutely take it. I think they would be a little taken back because they've seen how much work that Amber has put into it. But when it fits her like a glove, be like, it at this point would be rude if I did not take this. So thank you so much for many things.
She would nod, and no, thank you, Zahir. You are very important, and I think that with this we will be able to protect all of our people.
That is the goal.
And we will come back to Amber and Zahir very shortly. Oh, Duskara. I think we left off with Say and you getting caught trying to escape one of the times, and you were brought before the council that is held by Ivan, and through guidance and a little bit of notes, and mostly Ivan trying to keep Say safe. and you maybe a little bit safe as well from some of the side eyeballs of others. He has locked Say away in a tall tower like some kind of weird princess. This is not the time. And very much has basically imprisoned her. As she's being taken away, her last words to you were like that conversation you all are able to have without saying anything. But then out loud she says, "I want to visit him next time." And then she turns and leaves with her now jailers. Ivan looks hardened during all this, like he's trying to keep that facade of him being in charge kind of there, but there is a softness for his sister that kind of comes through a little bit. So it's not a malicious type of thing. But it is there, and it is probably annoying. So this will be something that you get to deal with as well. All right. There was our recap. Does anybody have any questions or anything else that we need to pick up with before I get going? Fantastic. Okay, let's begin. It's very early morning. We are in the council chamber. Rhea, you are there. Jathir, you're there as well. Ivan is speaking with the wardens. This is kind of like the weekly upkeep of what was going on. While Jathir, you are there as an advisor, Ivan is now speaking predominantly for the wardens, pretty much as the only warden there, which is a little bit of an imbalance of power, but it is what it is. There are other elves and a couple Angelicans and some of the people there as well. People that would like attend to be kind of like the voices or at least the ears of the people, but not as many as there used to be. The council chamber, while open to everybody, is one that not a lot of people attend, and Ivan making it earlier and earlier in the morning for these meetings has made it much harder for others to get to them. But it's brought to everybody's attention by one of the Angelican guards that Amberset has been really delving heavily into primordial magic and very much turned her eyes away from the creator's light. And that is currently what we are talking about. So, Rhea, by all means, what are your thoughts on the matter?
We certainly can't let this continue, right? Like, come on. We all know that the creator is the one that has kept us safe this entire time. There is one true version of magic. While I admit there are others that the creator has allowed to exist in their presence, we can't. It's not proper. That's all I have to say.
Are you assuming that the creator could not handle primordial magic? Why would this be a problem for someone of the creator's caliber? He did create all things. Is this not just another part of his will? Amber, if none other, is one of the more responsible children. I feel like you would have other things preoccupying you at this time.
There are, but someone in her position, I would say it does not look very good. While I do accept other types of magic were created and are allowed to exist, it's just someone of her stature and her standing is all I'm saying.
I think that some of the crowd would rumble, and you'd hear Bilal kind of like lift his hand and like tap the table. Our one-armed Bilal now, since he lost an arm to some of the red dragging lings down below, or wormlings, or whatever the hell we're gonna call the younger ones. I think that I think that this should be an issue for the wardens in general. Let him clean it up. We have other things that we have to focus on. He would gesture to Ivan. Ivan would look around. Oh, well. I think that we should at least hear them out. Why don't you bring Amber and her companion, partner, teacher, guest to us? He looked to Jathir to kind of make sure that this was the right decision.
The deer and passive as always. It's just gonna nod and say, bring her.
Right. Fine. Let's... Yes, go collect my sister and her friend. And, we'll deal with them as it is fit after we speak. Does that seem acceptable, Rhea?
Yes, I would like to hear straight from her what her reasoning is. Seems perfectly fine.
Right. Leviathan, Bilal.
Three of us are going to, if three of them are going to be here, you might as well go bring Say up here as well. This can be a good chance for the family to catch up. And we can go over everything at once so no one needs to repeat themselves.
I think Ivan would take a deep sigh. Sure. Get Say and see if you can't collect her friend.
It's like, I don't even think Deskar would even be there.
You're not. You are.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
where
don't-
you are, actually. We'll get to you in a minute. Collect her friend, Dusk.
Deskar.
Thank you.
Duskara.
Yes, Duskara. Collect Duskara as well. And I guess to hell with it. Get my brother Belzocht as well, and let's tell him how great of a wonderful job he's been doing. He deserves some praise after all, yes?
Got you covered. And I'll do like a little sending spell to try to get his attention to get him to come here.
Right. Wonderful. Then let's reconvene this after, in the afternoon, after sun down.
Okay.
Great.
Seems like enough time.
Okay. I think you'd watch as Ivan stood. His wings not like they're like folded back a little bit, and he would turn to leave through like the door that now goes to his chambers. He has moved himself into like the warden's chambers. So he's got a much larger room than he used to. With his little pretend well, it's not as much of pretend as it used to be, but now he has his little throne kind of set in the middle of the room. And it's a little bit more grand now. Jathir, are you following him back to where he goes?
Yeah.
Very good. Ivan would wait a moment. The door would close. You'd hear some of the people kind of like filter out. And he would turn and be like, wonderful. I think I handled that pretty well, yes?
Expertly.
Great. Now, back to what we were doing. And he'd like, the wall would like shift, and there'd just be a bunch of these, like a handful of the assassins that had been trying to kill people chained up to the side in various versions of being alive. And he'd be like, I think I finally figured this out. Watch. And he'd grab one's neck and pull outwards, and you'd watch this black sharded gem tear its face off and become this very large crystal looking thing. And you'd watch as he like kind of focuses a little bit, and part of his soul gets tugged into it as well. And he goes, now, I believe that I can't die until this is now broken.
That would appear to be the intended effect.
I need a stronger soul, though, to make better ones, I think. And he'd snap it, and it would disappear into black sand. We need stronger things. I want to make better ones of these. And then we can work on the rift. We can work on the rift.
I'm here to guide you in your ambitions, but you must come up with the plans yourself.
Right.
I will make sure that we do not fail.
No, we're not going to. We're not gonna fight this war. We're gonna make sure that we can leave. Wonderful. Would you mind collecting my sister, since now that we are gonna have everybody there? I feel that I don't feel like sending guards to get her is going to work.
Probably not. You know how your sister has a tendency to overreact.
Yeah, and I'm sure that she is going to be a little angrier with me than normal. Yes, if you would collect her, I'll have Rhea.
Yes, I will go grab her myself.
Could you perhaps have
To
Rhea?
explain away any confusion between guards. This way we can expedite this process.
Right, and I think we could have Rhea collect Amber and Zahir with guards.
You would probably want to send her after Bell's off. Amber, while focused, is probably the most reasonable of your other siblings. I'm sure if anyone could make it here herself, it would be her.
You know, I'm really interested in seeing what primordial magic it looks like, though. I think that if we add that to what we're doing here, it might be easier to open a rift.
Exactly. Which is why it's been very good you let her continue her work at this time. No point putting in the extra effort to discover the primordial magic if your sister's already investigating it.
I agree. She is. But anything, my favorite. And he would turn and, like, grab one of the other faces and tear it off. And you'd watch it form into this long, like, twisted-looking version of a mask. And then, like, break. And he'd be like, I'm almost there. All right. Well, I will wait here. I guess the rest of you can just hang out. And he'd just kind of look around and be like, I'll get that one better. And then he'd sit down in the chair and look around and be like, you know, I haven't seen Duskara for a while either. I forgot her damn name. I hope she is all right. I did enjoy her as well. She was funny.
Worry not. Between Rhea and myself, I'm sure one of us will be able to locate her quite easily. There's not much that goes on here that one of us does not have an eye or an ear to the ground keeping track of. And seeing as hers are so undisciplined, it will be very easy to get whatever information we need from Herman as well.
Agreed. Fantastic. Well, then we have our projects for the day. I'll talk. Yeah, we'll just shoot me a message when you're on your way back, and I will adorn my robes.
Of course. And Jathir will bow and he'll make his way out of the room.
Very cool. Let's go to Dune Tall.
Yo.
Dune, you are standing among a just freshly won battle. Handful of demons slain, orcs running around excited because nothing's better in the morning than killing a bunch of demons and getting to eat. There's giant fires going up. These large boars are being thrown on to be roasted. You're standing in this like large there's large prints on the ground that you don't recognize. Looks kind of like a bear with scraping around it, but a little bit bigger than normal. And you don't remember having to fight a bear, so you're hoping that somebody around is roasting a bear. And it's slightly goopy. But anyway, you are you're looking around, and I think around this time Belzak would land fairly close to you, but openly so you could see. And he'd have a couple of his, and he'd come and say, Dune, I hope that everything is good.
Hmm. Welcome, friend. Of course, things are well among the orcs.
Fantastic. Yes. It's good to see you too, friend. And he'd like put his hand out to shake. Very good. I see this is becoming a more frequent thing. We are beginning to build a larger defense above. Is there any supplies that you need that I can bring you? I don't believe the other Angelicans are attempting to be of assistance much. But I would like to keep I will keep my word. And Bilal's.
Likewise. Perhaps it's time to move out towards enemy, rally forces together.
I agree.
And
I have a good contingent. They are ready, and if nothing else, hungry for battle. I would like to see entropy fall as well.
Perhaps Dune will make way back to Palace tomorrow to finalize preparations between two forces.
That sounds great. I'll prepare for you and whoever and the rest that you bring, and I will make sure that there is no issues of you joining us, and we will follow your guidance into battle. I think that while we are a force to be reckoned with, I do not have the war knowledge to lead an army.
Appreciated. We
Well,
will strike together.
yes. Great. Well, this looks good. Stay safe.
Same to you, friend.
And he would turn and he would say, I'll leave some of them down here to help clear bodies. And a couple of the Angelicans will turn and start clearing away some of the debris and the dead. And Belzoct would hear the sending spell from Rhea and realize that she is calling for him. And he would turn and say, there's always something, and take off back towards the Rael. Awesome. Very good. Easy. Rhea, you are leaving the council chamber, and so you would realize two things. You'd realize that one, Belzoct is, you know where he is, because when you send a message to somebody, you know where they are now. And two, you would know that there is a handful of guards going to collect Amber. But by all means, what would you like to do in this situation?
We would probably head back to her quarters while she waited for everyone to be rounded up. I would imagine in her spare time, over the time skip while all of this has been happening, she has been finding little ways to like gather items from different people around so that she could start scrying and like keeping an eye on people, because she's not trusting what's going on. Like, she doesn't like the idea that all of a sudden Ivan is now in charge. She feels like that should be Belzoc's thing. So she probably, while she puts a face in front of everyone else trying to act like she's complicit and working with everyone, she has her own little secret ways back in her own particular room where she's trying to keep an eye on what everyone's doing.
Very good. You get to your chamber that is separate from Belzoc's, the one that probably nobody else can really get into without you letting them in. Except for there is a like a balcony window, and as you are getting there, you would see a very large raven waiting for you with a scroll in its mouth. A scroll that's made from thin bark rolled up. It's not the first time that this has happened. There are a couple other of your a couple other of these scrolls discarded to the side. It would bother you a little bit. You know that this is the same thing that has been happening repeatedly. This is a scroll from, as far as you can tell, just the north, but not the north that is below. These are just other places begging for help against Entropy's demons. And
Okay.
you know that there is nothing that you personally can do currently, and that you are keeping these from Belzok, because if he saw these, he would have left much earlier.
Right. And we definitely don't need him going off when, in her mind, I feel like there's so many things going on currently inside the city, especially inside the council, that we really need to pay attention to, especially with her being leery of what's going on with the primordial magic and Ivan's whole thing. She would definitely, like you said, keep those to herself to try to keep him as close as possible.
With that all said, though, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Let's see. Oh, that was only a 9.
Okay. I would say that the stress has been mounting, and while you are very good at holding it together, this is kind of like just another added to it, and it would finally kind of give way a little bit, and you'd have these flashes of, the creator isn't going to come help.
Right.
You know what's going on with that. And you would see this light, and it would drown your vision for a moment, and it would take you a minute to catch your breath. And as you were, this is when Belzok would land towards your, on your balcony, kind of, where he normally would come to knock on the window window door to see if you're there. You are catching your breath. Rhea, are you okay? He'd look around like there's somebody attacking you. It's very rare for him to see you not together.
No, I'm fine. Still a lot's been going on lately, which I'm sure you're aware of, and me trying to hold it all together. Eventually I need a few moments, but I'm fine. Just collecting myself.
Okay. Good. What did you need from me?
Your brother called his meeting again this morning, and we were supposed to meet up again, I think, mid-afternoon. I just wanted you to be there. I think Say and Amber are also going to be there as well.
My
So I thought it was
sisters.
important we would all show up, yes.
Oh. Well, if my sisters will be there, then I would like to go. I think it would be time for Say to be let go, and I don't feel like I've seen Amber in a long time.
I can understand, I guess, to a certain extent, but do you really trust Say to be left out on her own again? What happened before? It wasn't something minor.
Oh, sorry. I feel like if you cage an animal, it doesn't learn anything. It just stays a caged animal that is going to continue to lash out.
But
So
who
we
do
should
we
either
have-
kill her or let her go. And we're not going to kill my sister.
No, and I know, and I don't want to do that either, but who do we have that we trust to keep an eye on her?
Aren't the wardens going to be the one letting her go? I believe it would be his problem then. And he'd kind of chuckle a little bit to himself.
I like your way of thinking on that. Maybe we should bring that up at the meeting.
By all
Ivan
means.
is
God
so
knows.
willing to be in charge. Let's give him something else to think about.
The gods know I don't get to speak, so whatever you'd like to do.
If it were up to me, that would be your place. But
I don't feel that the normal people will trust me anyway. We have our followers, and I think that it's going okay. We are supposed to meet with Duntal tomorrow and strike out. Will you be joining us?
Was that something he would have made me aware of before or no? I feel like that would be a shock for me to hear.
Yeah, I think that would probably be a shock.
Strike out. Strike out where? Where are you going?
To war.
Why was I not made aware of this?
You've been busy. Like you said, you've been very stressed. You've been under stress. But now it is time for us to stop this issue before it gets to our doorstep.
There are so many issues here that still need to be addressed as well.
And as you said, Rhea, they're Ivan's problem now. It's not my place. And there'd be like very much sadness in his eyes as he said this.
All right. You know I trust you. You always make the best decisions. I will be there wherever you need me.
Great. Because you were the only other person I know that was in the war before. And you're the only one I know that knows what entropy's power is firsthand.
Yes. Unfortunately, I do.
We'll fade out of this moment for a second. And, Duskara, let's talk to you. You know what's been going on, but I think that most of your world would revolve around how you're breaking Say out of prison currently.
Yes, I feel like when Ivan put her in the tower and like I realized I couldn't really get to her a normal way, I feel like Daskara would have like retreated back into like nature to kind of like train a little bit, get a little stronger, and kind of come back.
Fantastic. I love it. Tell me your plans and let's go ahead and enact them.
All right, so I would so as part of my training, right?
Mm-hmm.
I found a spider, right? So this spider is now going to sit on my staff, and so next time somebody touches it, there will be true issues. Okay.
Yep. Sounds good.
And so my thought was to go to the tower and like cast giant insect and like make this spider on my staff like grow into like this giant insect, and then like climb, have him climb up to the tower to grab Stay. And if they needed something else, I was gonna like destroy the whole tower. Like that was plan 2.
I love it. All right, so read me giant insect. Let's talk. It just makes how big is it?
It actually doesn't say. Let me.
Oh, I love it. Okay, good. So we'll say it's big enough for you and her to ride.
Let me scroll down. Good grief! It's like, okay, giant insect. You transform up to 10 centipedes, 3 spiders, 5 wasps, or 1 scorpion within range into a giant version of its natural form for the duration. A centipede becomes a giant centipede. A spider becomes a giant spider.
Cool. I got it. Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
They are
So
large.
what I need from you right here is just to roll.
Okay.
What do you cast your spells on? Charisma, right?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Just a wisdom check for me, please.
Okay.
To see how potent your spell is.
16.
Very good. So you have this spider, and you're standing towards the edge of the spire that would lead up to where Say is being kept. She's being kept in the main spire, far above where Rhea would even be. This is a very high up thing. This is much higher than when you all would normally go. This is where they keep not prisoners, but prisoners, if you get what I mean. And the spider begins to and like rip itself apart as it grows. It's ichor and the what do they call the plates of the spider, the chitin? Yeah. Kind of like spring outwards. Its face kind of like turns into this like it's almost like it hardens and becomes a little bit this like not twisted up but very aggressive looking version of itself. Its 8 legs have now these like, you can see where its feelers would crawl and claw into the wall. It has these like almost like large they almost look like bones protruding from it, as it's like it becomes this like collection of blades, and it looks to you with its eyes that are now glowing this like pink purple because it's under your command. And it kind of like leans inwards to you to like give you a spot to ride.
Awesome. So we're
16.
definitely hopping on the back of said spider, and I thought I was gonna go invisible, right?
Mhm.
But I feel like Deskar is just like pissed. Like I feel like she just wouldn't give a fuck, Like she just kind of reached that, like
Okay.
how dare they? So I think she's just gonna like climb with like aggressive, just straight to the top.
All right. I have 3 questions then. 1.
Okay.
Jathir, what is your passive perception? You're muted.
You're muted.
Passive perception.
Yeah, what's your
Sorry.
passive perception?
Is a 15.
15. Okay. Rhea, what's your passive perception?
I prepared for this. It is an 18.
Fun. Okay. You're not trying to stealth, but I would like you to roll a stealth roll, please, with disadvantage.
All right. Stealth.
With disadvantage.
Okay. So that's a 12.
That's cool. I just need to know how horribly you would fail this as you rush up the side of a wall.
12 is the lowest.
Okay. Great. Now all 3 of you roll initiative. This is just to see who catches what first.
I got a 16.
I got a 5.
I got a 3. Or I got a 5, sorry.
Okay. Fantastic. Dulscara, you make it to say. You make it first before, but you both notice. I mean, both of you have separate things that would alert you. However you want to describe how you are alerted you are, but both of you would find out at the same time. That being said, Dulscara, you get to her window, rip through the window, and there are guards in her room. She's sitting very much like pouting in a corner, basically. She has these like these bands on that make it so she can't cast. But as you tear through this window, we'll use your I don't know what you're going to do to the guards, but we're going to use your initiative for that, and I'll roll my initiative for my 2 guards. I got a 15 and a 12. I have +7 on my initiative. That was pretty good on your case. So you are first. These are 2 Angelican guards. They were not expecting anybody to come rushing through the wall.
Right.
But they are. One would turn and be like, "What?" And then he would turn and point to the other one and go, "Run! Get help! Get help!" And you'd see the other one turn to like run through out the door.
So before they could run,
Yep, you are the current. You currently have initiative. This is not how I imagine this going. This is hilarious.
I'm trying.
Morgan,
What's that?
you give me spells. I'm gonna show you spells.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay. I'm trying to find the spell. Hence the 50 freaking spells. I
No.
don't understand how anybody.
That's cool. While you're looking at your spells, Say would jump up and she'd be like, You used bugs? I love this! And she would get like really excited.
I'm trying to find the same spell I used for to like tie everybody down.
Ensnare?
No, it's not
That's
snare.
all
It's like
perfect.
a
Web?
fuck it. We'll just cast web. That's fine. It's not what I was looking for, but it's sufficient. It should lock everybody down.
All right. Oh, I rolled a D12 instead of a D20 for one of my initiatives. That's why it was so bad. That's fine. Keep going. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go with it. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to cast web, and actually, my spider has web.
Okay, so
Oh, that's even better.
you cast web at both of them then?
Yeah, it's 30 feet range. Target restrained by webbing. Yeah, that'll work.
What do I have to roll?
Restrained target has to make a DC 12 strength check. Maybe I should use my webbing. The webbing can. Yeah. Again, too many damn spells. Yeah, let's go with my webbing because that has a DC save of 15.
Right.
Cool. So we're still going to cast the web, but it's still, you need a DC of 15.
Okay, 15. Here we go.
Or it knocks you down.
The one that was pointing and said to leave, he passes it. The one that was running got a 9. So, because I got a 3, a natural 3 on it. So you web and he trips and goes forward, and the other one goes and then it would like set in that who you are, and he'd be like,
right.
Daskara, you can't take her. Do you have anything else to do on your turn?
Well, I mean, because that was
That was your spell.
that was my spell. So I guess would technically have a bonus action,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
In that case, I would try and knock him unconscious with Shillelagh.
Okay. I guess swing, roll to hit.
All right.
You have 10-foot reach with your staff, right?
There's no number on that staff.
Cool. Yeah, you have 10-foot reach on your staff. That's fine. We'll say you got it. I'll give you 10-foot reach on it. It makes sense because he wouldn't be. It's a small room, so it's not like they'd be far away from you, but they're not melee range like that at the moment. Okay. So the 10-foot reach is the thing that you need.
Awesome. All right, so that's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
That is their AC, by the way.
Oh, nice. All right, so do I need to roll damage, or can we just say he gets knocked unconscious?
You need to roll damage. This is very much you are fighting an Angelican guard.
So that's 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Plus, what is the other one? Sorry, I feel slightly. Because I get +6 with the staff.
Uh-huh.
I'll just roll the 1d6. And that was a 1.
Oh, what does it say? Oh, say goes last. Okay.
Right. So that is 9 points of damage. And that was an attack plus the back end for Polar Mastery. So that's 1d4 plus my wisdom.
Yeah.
I need to make which cards for this?
Macros.
Yeah. So 6, 7, 8. So that's 8. So that's 8 from that too.
Okay.
So that gives me what?
What, it's 29, 30-ish damage, something like that?
No, it was 18. No, sorry. It was 8, and then that was an 8. So that was 16 plus 1 is 17.
Oh, I thought you said 18 one of the times. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Very
18 good. Was the hit.
That's right. Okay. Very cool, very cool. He would you'd hit him and he would like try and like parry a little bit. You get him, and then he'd be like, I didn't. Okay, and then he'll strike you back with his spear. Does an 18 hit you?
18 is my AC.
Very good. You're taking damage. You take 8 piercing.
Okay.
And he would ready a defense looking at you, like ready to parry again. Because he has that stupid thing. Then on Say's turn, she's gonna stand up, and she can't cast spells or anything, but I'm gonna have her rush and try and like trip him, basically, like run into him to make him fall prone.
Right.
So Say's little. Oh wow. Okay. Oh cool. I rolled a 19 for her strength check. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna say Say like runs and just like literally just rolls through his like legs, so this dude will fall prone, and she'll stand up and look and be like, can you break these? Can you break these? I love your spider. This is so fun. Oh my gosh! And she's gonna like climb onto the spider.
Okay. Can I break those? Like, is there
yeah, you can. They're not. It's a strength check. It'll count as an action, but she'll look at you and be like, go, 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 go. He can fly, so we gotta go.
Oh.
And then she'd like turn back at him and be like, or web him, do something. It's your turn now.
Oh, okay. We are going to. I feel like you would be like, sorry, this isn't, what I kind of expected, right? Like, that's not what she wanted to happen. But how about she cast command?
Okay.
Right? That works.
Fuck. All right, yeah, let's do that.
It's a wisdom save.
I got a 12.
Of 17.
I got a 12.
Okay.
What is your command, Duskara?
Right. That the target, he's just gonna stay where he is. The target falls prone, and just doesn't do anything. It doesn't move, doesn't take any action.
Yeah, you gotta give me a word though.
Oh,
what to do.
Right. Lay there. Or on your knees, bow.
He would take a knee and drop his weapon and look up. His friend, completely wrapped, looking at him, just like, what is happening? And then he'd just put his head down towards his knee and take a bow.
Cool. And we would bolt out of there. Just
how long does command last?
It says duration 1 round.
6 seconds.
So that's like till his next turn, I guess, technically.
Very good. You got a good 10 seconds head start then before he gets to realize what's happening.
The round is a minute. So
minute. Yeah. Keep going.
Her turn is only 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Cool. We will take that minute. Pretty sure it doesn't take us that long to climb the tower.
So you start shifting down the tower. Say is gonna be like, oh my gosh, you came to get me. Can we go see? We can go to Latine's grave. Can you take these off of me? Can we break these, please?
So I think from there, since she made it up the tower and kind of being like, oh shit, like, I feel like she would take the cuffs off of her and then like cast like invisibility or something so that they can't be detected.
Okay. If you take the cuffs off of her, Say will cast greater invisibility.
Okay. So what do I need to roll for that?
I would need you either need to roll I would need a wisdom check. It'll be much higher DC if you're going to try and spell check it because they dampen magic. Or if you want to try and strength and like tear them apart, I'll need a 20 strength check.
You do realize I have a strength
I know what
of
you
0.
have.
There is no way I'm going to get a 20.
If you get a nat 20, you tear them apart. If not, if you get above a 15, it takes the check down. It just depends on how long it takes you. That's my point.
I can only imagine the spell DC if the strength DC is a 20.
This, I mean, but your spell DC is, I think you have additions to your spells.
I do, but
So then
that
so then wisdom check it.
okay. I got a 23 for wisdom check.
It's 22. That's funny. Okay.
Oh,
So describe yourself.
yeah.
So describe yourself ripping these things apart.
Right. So I'd be like, okay, hold still, right? And like I would like channel the magic that I've been learning like into the cups.
Mhm.
And then like you would see like little like plants like kind of weave in between the cracks, and then they would just like pop.
Nice. Yeah. The cuffs rip off and say like throws these things into the wind and realizes that you're going downward, so they just kind of fly up and then like past you guys again. And she watches them go, and she's like, oh, yes, I have my magic back. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love the spider. You have to name it. We have to name it. But anyway, okay. Bob. Okay, and then she would touch it, and everything would go invisible.
Is that invisible? Great invisibility? Is that like it can't be traced by magic?
Greater invisibility can be. It's a much harder trace. I can read. Hold on.
Because I have somewhere amongst these new 50 spells something that lets me turn the entire party invisible.
You have passed without a trace.
Boom!
Yeah, that's usually what that is.
You know my spells better than I do. Again,
I know all the spells. Your creature become invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing is visible. It's a higher level, so it's harder to dispel. No, pass without a trace would be better.
Okay.
I don't have that. Okay.
I do. We're going to use that.
Okay. Great. So where are you going?
Oh, definitely haven't thought that far.
I didn't think you'd get through this fast. That's pretty fun.
I guess first we're going to go visit Latine's grave.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Say would be very excited and kind of shaking you and hugging you. And she'd be like, "Oh, Dusky, okay, thank you so much. We're not going back there ever. I'm never coming back here." No. Okay. I think that does this spider is Bob always this big?
No, he sits on my staff now. And
Oh.
she's gonna like point to the staff, like,
Okay, if you get us to where the waterfall is, then we can jump down and I'll pad our fall. And she'd look at you and be like, "I can do it."
Yeah, no, that's definitely not the question. Definitely not questioning that. It was more of it's been a while since you used magic, and I feel like you're gonna want to save that for the moment that you're close to Latine, so he can still feel close to you too.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's fine. She would shake her head and be like, "Okay, well then get us down to the."
Right.
Yeah.
Because the magic that I've been teaching you, hopefully, you can, put that into the ground and kind of get a better sense of, him.
I just want to say sorry.
I know.
Okay.
So we're gonna climb down the side.
Jathir and Rhea, describe how you find out everything that's going on. Jathir, go first.
The fear knowing who Say and Discar are and knowing they're much more akin to Ivan's philosophies than Rhea or Belzev had that entire room warded with alarm spells. So the second Discar made it up the outside of the building, Jathir knew where she was. And the second the window came out, Jathir had a pretty good idea of what was going on. So knowing what's happening, Jathir's no longer headed up there because he knows that she's not there anymore and is now heading back to Ivan to fill him in on the fact that Say and Daskar are now gone.
Yeah. Okay. What are you doing?
Who, just getting back to Ivan?
Are you going back to Ivan?
Yeah, knowing that, like, Jathir would be aware that Say and Daskar are no longer in that room, and the guards are more than likely okay. They don't often kill anybody during their escapes. They just end up hidden somewhere. And the only time they really die, no one finds them in time. But people are going to be exploring that room, so I'm not worried about the guards in there.
Okay. Okay. So you'll be going back to Ivan. Perfect. Rhea, please, by all means.
I feel like that little ping, would go off in her head.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course I feel like she has that for everyone when everyone does anything. We're in the middle of our conversation,
vision.
Belzoff and I. And be like, speaking of your sister, seems like her and Daskar are about to go on another little adventure. She's broken her out of her tower. How can we use this to make it look like the wardens are not doing the greatest job?
Isn't it their guards? Or is it our guards?
Yeah, their guards.
It's their guards. Their guards are the ones up there.
Their guards are the ones, yeah.
Oh. Well then, I vote we just let them run amok and then complain about it when we get there.
Yes, I think we should keep this information to ourselves, but I agree.
I think he would turn and you would all... You know where she is, because you have...
Yeah.
Do you have True Sight? I forget. Does Rhea have True Sight?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. I know Belzoc does. But anyway,
I mean,
so
you should have it.
Belzoc would turn, and even invisible, he could see you guys crawling down the side of the spire across from them, and he would just like make eye contact with you guys, so you fully know he sees you, and he would just wave.
I feel like in that moment, I wouldn't stop the spider, but I'd kind of be like, pretending like you couldn't see.
I think that he would wave, and Say would look up and go like that. And Rhea, you would know that he's looking at them as they go past.
But that would be my goal, is we have this knowledge, we know where she is, but it's not our responsibility to take care of it. Let the wardens do that.
Fantastic. Jathir, you re-enter Ivan's room. You've been gone a total of like 15 minutes max. As you come back in, he's gonna turn and go, wait. That was really quick.
Your sister has made an escape. I'd like to say that took a lot longer than we were expecting.
It has been like a couple months. I'm surprised. Okay. Well, I guess go scoop her up, and I will fly. Just let me know where they are when you get there, and I will come gather everybody.
Well, they're currently headed down the side of the tower. Let's say you and I just meet them down there, and we'll send a message for everyone to regroup where we pick her up at.
I would ask,
The
would
reason we
he
can't
actually
have our
know
meeting
that?
outside in the fresh air.
Wait, would he know I was going back down the tower?
I mean, you don't
Yeah,
really
I
have
have
anywhere else to
alarm
go.
spells all over that tower.
I was gonna say you also don't have anywhere else to go, but
Right.
you're not going up the tower.
You and Say can't fly, so you only got one direction to go.
Technically,
I think.
but that's okay.
Okay. Ivan would looking and say, "Take some guards and go get her. I have a little bit more that I want to do here. Let me know when they're apprehended, and I will come and gather everybody. but I feel like if I am going for everything that happens on this island, it's going to take away from my place.
Yes, but
She's a little girl.
there are certain matters that acquire your attention. An escaped, we're not going to call your sister a prisoner, but someone that's under our protection escaping does not reflect well on you, and it would do much good for your image and the peace of mind of those here to know that someone can't just leave without us being on top of it.
Fine, let's go. And he would turn and walk out the room with you. Okay. How fast y'all getting down there? How fast your spider move?
Oh. It says speed 30 feet,
Okay.
and it says climb is also 30 feet.
Okay, climbing 30. Great. I mean, Ivan is not going to fly towards you guys because he doesn't. Actually, Ivan doesn't really know where you are. He's not Belzak. He doesn't have true sight, but you know where they are, Jathir. So.
Well, he just knows that we're on the
Yeah.
tower.
Okay. Okay.
But could we jump off of it? Like, if we jumped off of it, he wouldn't know where we were.
Yeah, I mean, if you leap off the tower, he's gonna know you leapt off the tower. But then all they could do is have to go below to find you.
Right. I was actually trying to figure out the distance. Right. Like.
I will roll for say to pad your fall.
Fuck it. Roll it.
All right, so you make the spider small, and then you guys both just plummet. Is that what we're doing? We're leaping?
I was hoping we could leap, like, I guess technically she couldn't pad the fall with this spider. I mean, like...
No, the spider will die. I know the spider will die. I promise the spider will die.
Right.
Okay, so...
Okay, we're jumping.
Cool. Say's eyes get like this manic excitement as you tell her that you all can jump, and she's gonna be like, and then as the spider gets smaller and gets inside your staff, and you guys start to like pick up speed, she's gonna look and be like, oh my gosh, this is so great. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for your concentration. It is your spell DC.
I got a 21.
Okay, so you'll stay invisible as you go down, and you guys plummet the distance of a mountain straight down. You would hit terminal velocity very quickly. The wind is like pulling past you. Say's one wing unfurls and like behind her, and she's gonna like giggle and laugh as it all comes down. And she's going to look at you and be like, don't worry. I've only thought about this the whole time we were there. Watch this. And she's going to put her hand up and then cast, like, instead of what would normally be this giant wave of water, she casts Typhoon straight down, meta magics it into a gust of wind. And you guys hit this air tunnel. And it starts to, like, make this huge tornado that rips apart some of the trees. And pulls you guys to the ground. That being said, everybody knows where the fuck you are right now because a giant tornado just brought you to the floor of the basin of this jungle. Doontal, let's talk to you a little bit.
Invisible, right?
Huh?
I mean, we're still technically invisible.
Yes, you are. You are still invisible.
In the middle of my taco.
I'm gonna say though that Doontal, you are watching. This is about the midday. Belzak has left. He left about like an hour or two ago. You guys have just finished like the morning like routine of like making sure that everything's kind of safe. And then right near where Rog's memorial is, you just see this giant like cataclysm of this tornado without a storm, and these trees rip up and fly to the side, and This giant dust like pull up, and by all means, this is your turn to react to it.
All right, well, grab whatever orcs are around, and we're gonna go check it out. Get
Okay.
ready for a signal for someone to sound the horns, because there's probably another demon coming in.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You turn, you gather up some of the orcs. Most of them are excited. They're like, yes, 2 fights in one morning. This is fantastic. They pick their cleavers up and put them on their shoulders and get ready. They start like, tracing to where you guys are going. It's gonna take you all a little while to get there, but you will end up in that direction. Jathir, you and Ivan would see this giant wind tunnel go to the ground. They would get there a lot faster than you guys, though. Ivan would look at you and be like, I'm going to assume that's them.
I gotta say, I'm quite impressed. That's one way to get down.
All right. Am I flying us? Do we need to get others? I feel like
It depends on how long you'd like to spend looking for them.
Oh, God. All right. Well, yeah, we'll just go get him. It's fine. We know where she's going.
Exactly. So we could just meet her there.
All right.
And if we send a message to Rhea and Amber and everyone else, we convene the meeting there. Looked like it was part of our plan all along. That way we can adjust the seriousness of this matter. I would say that place in particular is something that ties you and all of your siblings together.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, that sounds fine. And he would turn and he'd look up to the spire and send a message to Rhea. Rhea,
Yes, Ivan.
would you mind, could you and Belzok, please? I'm sure you know that my sister has now escaped. We're pretty sure Say is going down below. Message has to end there.
What? Escaped? Well, of course, yes. We'll be right there.
No, okay, before you come, I'll use another spell slot, fuck me. Before you come, will you please, this is hard. Will you please gather Amber and meet us down there with Amber and Zahir?
Yes, of course. All part of the plan, right, Ivan?
As always, Rhea, your insight. Very keen. And Ivan will look to you, Jahir, and be like, all right, climb up, let's go. Put his arm down to get you.
You're muted.
You're muted.
The Fear would just step off the edge and fall and look at him and say, meet you at the bottom.
Right. Okay. Jump off. Cool. Very good. Let's see. We're waiting for Zahir to get back. Oh, timing. Great.
More popcorn.
Zahir, let's talk.
So much is happening. I wanted more popcorn.
That's okay. It's your turn.
Oh, good.
You and Amber are going through the motions of morning ritual. She is, I believe, standing barefoot, trying to get to know the ground beneath her or something. Whatever you would say. And both of you are doing, I guess, morning calisthenics, let's say.
Yes. Zahir is very much believes in a morning routine. You must set an intention for every part of your day. You have to, primordial magic, you have to allow yourself to see and take in what you can and feel what you cannot. So she would require there to be like nature sounds, and you have to take off your shoes so you can feel the ground between your toes. And there's like lavender. It just smells like lavender.
Very good. I think that I'm starting to get the routine of this. And she would like push her arm outwards, and you'd see some crackling lightning roll up her hand.
Zahir would mirror her and have the lightning go up the side of her hand that looks like so it looks like Amber's looking in a mirror.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, no, so this was happening.
And
go ahead.
And Zahir would be like, yes, you've dramatically improved over time. Honestly, I took much longer to pick up all of this when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. So, you know, you are very talented, Amber.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you listening to me. So that way I could share a little bit of my homeland.
No, I value this very much. This is what I was hoping for. Means to protect the masses is what I want. And she would smile at you from the scars that cover about 30% of her body, where her skin was almost boiled off. Her hair has grown back and has turned, the pieces that have come from the scar have turned this like very stark, dark black. And she hasn't dyed the rest of it. So now it's like this, almost like dusky white that goes into this very dark black hair. And she's sort of let it grow out a little bit more. And it's a little bit more, not unkept, but wild than before. She's starting to kind of mirror what she believes in her mind people from your homeland kind of look like. At this time, there would be some of the initial, like, troop that was sent to go get you guys would enter the building without knocking. And Amber would be very much on edge. Like, she would turn and, like, immediately, like, put her hand on one of the, like, blades on the table. And they would, the one that would announce himself, Amber Set, we are sorry to intrude, but we have been sent by Ivan and the wardens to collect you and your guest to come and talk with the council.
So where I'm from, we typically ask. Sometimes this is a very odd sounding invitation.
Right. Yes. This is not. It's not a request, but it is an invitation that will be met. And then you would see the others, like, kind of form behind him.
I think Zahir would look at Amber and go, was this on your to-do list today? I will, how would you like to handle?
Amber would look and just remark, I'm not leaving here until I'm ready. And it's not that time.
Well, you've heard Amber, folks. All right. We will reconvene, I don't know, sometime next week, next month, I don't know. Ready is ready. So, toodaloo, sayonara, good day.
He would, Amber, this is not a request. Ivan has made it very clear. The wardens have made it very clear that both of you are to speak with the council today about the actions you've been taken that you know are incorrect.
Well, I know. Gosh. this is awkward. I know that pairing 2 different socks is kind of faux pas sometimes, but look, while I've been here, these sock goblins have really gotten a hold of my clothing that I brought. And I mean, I don't think it's something we need to talk to the council about. It just, if Ivan really has an issue with my socks, is there a royal gift shop that I can
Royal
shop in?
gift shop. What the fuck? Amber, I think Amber would chuckle at this. Probably the first like good laugh that she's given in a while. Yes, as my guest has said, leave, and you would see her. There would be a change in Amber at this point. Like, she's much more stern and forceful, and it's kind of the look that somebody gets when they have seen that side of things. I think, Rhea, this is around the time you'd probably show up.
Okay. So probably hearing all of this commotion, she would just kind of lightly chuckle to herself, because it's like, oh, Ivan's sending wardens to go pick her up and they can't even manage that task. Hilarious. So she would just kind of push her way, like, excuse me, kind of making her way through so her and Belzoff can kind of get to the front.
I think Belzoff would wait at the door.
You wait at the door. Okay.
Yeah,
well, she would push her way to the front. Like, Amberset, Zahir, lovely to see you guys again. How's it going? Sorry to interrupt whatever you have going on here.
Oh, hello, Rhea. Does this invitation extend from you as well?
Unfortunately, I was also given this invitation. I have to go too, so I figured, why not all just go together?
Zahir will look to Amber for, she's still gonna follow Amber's lead.
Rhea, I think that you can tell my siblings that I am not coming. We're not leaving. I'm not going to the chamber. I'm not making my way to speak about what I'm doing. You all have run around here and done whatever you wanted for the past 3 months, and I am not ready to talk about what I'm doing. This is not your invitation. It's Ivan's. If it's a problem, they will have to take me by force. You all can tell the council that.
All right. Duly noted. I will let Ivan know that you have refused his and the warden's invitation, and I will let him handle it.
Some of the guard, the one main guard would turn and say, ma'am, we were told to bring her. I'm not sure that by force is. Rhea, what should we do in this situation?
I feel like you should leave that up to your leader. Ivan, that's not my place.
I think all of them would turn and kind of sneer a little bit, mostly at Zahir. And he would just turn and he would say, "Fine. We will tell them that you refused the invitation and come back with guards with means of bringing you." And I think Amber would just wave. In the jungle. In the forest. Right. There is you guys reached the bottom.
Right. I feel like seeing the orcs kind of come in, like,
they're not there yet.
Oh, they're not there yet? Okay.
You guys are a decent little hop and skip away from where the water is, but it's not far. So you take some time to get there, Everybody else is kind of doing stuff. You don't really have any means of knowing that Ivan and Jathir are following. So yeah, I think Say would just turn and be like, oh my gosh, I did it! Did you see? Did you see? And she'd like hop up and down.
Right. And I would definitely be like, oh my God, you have totally been practicing, like, just you took this time to practice the same way I took this time to practice. I knew we were on the same page. I knew we were like soul sisters. Like you knew, I knew, like, and kind of be like, we should go see Latan. Like we should do that now.
Yeah. I know. I was thinking, and I was like, okay, so last time we got hurt, and she'd say this as she's like skipping around in circles and like running towards the water. And then you all would get to the edges of the water, and the stone has been changed. Before it was like a giant boulder with some water cascading off of it. Now it's like this this very smoothly carved pyramid that has a bunch of like ruins carved into it that mostly just talk about Rock and his like legacy and all that type of stuff. It has this this large chunk of crystal that catches the light when the light does shimmer over the horizon, and shoots out some of it in like this big. So like this place can stay lit up even though it's underneath a large floating mountain, basically.
Right.
It's their way of allowing the sunlight to hit this area at all times, because before it was very dark.
I take it Doontal did that.
Yeah, Doontal and the orcs, yes, they would definitely have done this. There is Rog's grave, and then, or memorial, and then there is like a smaller little section right where you put Latine in the ground, because you're the one who put him down there.
Yeah.
And there would be like some stuff there that like represents him. I think though that at this point Rog Doontal would know specifically that what all happened. Like you would have put it all together, you would have done the research, Bilal would have helped. And so while that is there for show, it probably isn't as grand as what Rog's memorial would be. It's mostly just there because you wouldn't want to alert the rest of the forces that they were following a construct for some time. I think Say's entire mood would change very rapidly as you hit the water line. And she would turn to you and she would hug you. And it would be like a very deep, like very much like a sisterly bonded hug. And she would tell you thank you. I really, I had been stuck up there for months, and I knew you'd come back, but I just thought it would be much longer.
And Jaskar would obviously return the hug and be like, it was a long time. It took longer than I expected, but I needed to gather the magic to do it.
I don't know if we should disturb his. This is pretty nice. This is a nice grave, but I do want to say my piece with him.
Of course.
I have to say sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have something I could light?
Instead, why don't we give him something that reminds you of life?
Okay.
And so she's going to walk with Say over there, right? And she's gonna like put her hand, tell Say to like put her hand on the ground or in the water, and then put her hand over top of it, and kind of use talk with plants to kind of like build like a little bit of a larger memorial, if you will, like around where he is, and then also ask the plants to reach down to where his body is and see if, maybe there's like just a tad bit of magic, something that was, something that she could feel connected to, from him.
Very cool. Yeah, you terraform a little bit extra of this thing. Some of the rock cuts itself and there's a geode in it, so now it's catching some of the light itself, and it kind of was shining a little bit off of into this one little spot. I think she would cry, but like in that very silent, like I'm doing something very important way. Jathir, I would say that you and Ivan would arrive not close, but close enough that you'd see all this as you're landing on the other side. Ivan would probably stop and kind of like almost like bend down, not being as stealthy as like Ivan would be, you know what I mean? But also being like, I think that I'll give her the moment before we interrupt. You're muted.
Right. If Ivan would try to move up, I would just put my staff in the way and give her the moment before we,
Yeah, Ivan would then sit kind of like back his, Ivan's tall. So he would sit and kind of like lean on one of his legs and kind of like wait and watch. Say would lean down to the water and like kind of grab some of the dirt. And she would start to talk. I didn't know that I would do this. We were both being reckless, and it is my fault. But you were part of something that I just wanted to be a part of myself so badly. You came from a part of the world that I'm never going to get to see and that I don't get to know. I'm one of the most free prisoners that I've ever thought about. And I hate my life. And you made it better for a minute, you and Dusk. But I tend to ruin everything that makes my life better. And she'd like let the sand go a little bit. And there would be, what is your passive perception, Dusk?
Passive perception 19.
Oh wow, how interesting. How a parent am I being? Apparently I'm being a parent. Cool. Dusk, you are focusing and you're helping this happen and you're feeling this. Jathir, I think that you would see it, and I'm going to let you decide how you would like to react, as a silver cloaked man pushes towards the water. Its head is a large skull with long rolling horns that are kind of pulled back, almost like they'd be pulled back like hair on somebody. It leaves a small a small trail behind it, almost as if it's moving in like a stop motion style as it goes. And you'd hear a voice that you can hear because it rolls over it's like it moves through the landscape, and it hits the back of your head and it hurts. Why do you mourn for my protege? I need you to roll a panic dice, which would be a d20. Daskara.
I was gonna say, like, who's rolling this?
It'll be Daskara that rolls. I will talk about why Jathir doesn't later.
All right. I got 14.
You are scared, but you do not panic. This would be a scary moment. You would turn. You all have been told of stories. Everybody knows who Mar is. He is the first Fae, the creator's brother. That being said, he's talked about just similar to how Hades would have been talked about in Greek mythology. This would be a moment that is terrifying for you in a way that it's meeting a deity level being that would shake your soul a slight bit, knowing that this is not a nicer one. This is not one that's spoken of highly. It's not like seeing entropy. That would be just a terrible, horrible like moment. But this is still something that is unnerving and without. It's like seeing a predatory animal staring at its prey. And he'd look down. His head, as it turns, it's almost like his body moves in this like very ethereal, it's like there's no like joints to him, as he can move in any way he wants. Like his head could like slowly shift out of focus as he walks, as he moves. There's like multiple versions of him going in different directions. His cloak kind of shimmers, but it doesn't move in the wind the way it should. It's like he's wrong. It's like he's edited into the world around him in an incorrect way. It's very unnerving. Even like his steps don't sound proper. It would be like you can hear his footsteps from behind you when he's obviously in front of you. Nothing about it works properly. And he would like flicker. His image would flicker so that it's like near you, far away from you, next to the rock, looking down at the thing. Say would kind of turn and look. And he would just, again, say, "Why do you mourn for my protege? What is that?"
The scar would kind of stand in front of Say and give a slight bow. Just, would we know him as Mar?
Yes.
Okay. Deity Mar or whatnot. There. He was your protege. He has unfortunately passed, and he was a very good friend of ours, and we loved him very dearly. So we've come to pay our respects.
Respects. You would see some of like the water shift up and like circle and make like almost like a seat as he like leans back into it. It never actually touches his cloak though. It's almost like he's like cushioned. You are of my brother's kin, correct? The light, and he would look up at the floating island of Rael, and then he'd look back at her, at Say. You're one of his children. What would make you love one of mine? And Say would look up, and she would like scoff and be like, "We are only his children by birth. I pick my own family."
Deskar will not.
I think Ivan would look at you, Jathir, and we should intervene, correct?
Patience. We will have our time. And I will just kind of give him a look saying, keep watching, but now is not the time to step in.
And Jathir, you would see that there's something that isn't on edge about Ivan that you would think he would be. But there's a moment, like, and it's almost like that same idea of like a predator looking at prey. You would see a slight bit of that in Ivan's eyes as he stares, as he watches Mar.
Jathir would smile slightly and just nod.
Say would kind of like get closer to you, Dusk, so that she is in her mind safe. But she would
Glad one of us feels that way.
yeah. This is Latine was my friend, and I'm the one who killed him. So I'm apologizing.
Dusk, it wasn't intentional. He presented himself as a powerful being, and he fell. And
for a very short but brief moment, you would hear a snicker, and Mar would say, "He fell. That's interesting."
that's how we.
Latine was powerful. He was he was the first. Well, he was one of the first of my people. I guess he was kind of like one of. So you all are children of the Creator. He was one of my children. I attempted very hard to make his family strong. And then he wanted to do more work, and it seems that didn't happen. My poor boy. I was coming here to raise him because I can't have one of my children. I mean, not him. He still has more work to do.
Of course. I think Deskar would sort of begin to back up a little bit, kind of pushing Stay back as well, and be like, of course, by all means, we have paid our respect to Latine, and we would be very grateful for you to resurrect him with,
If
your
Say
power.
tried to push in front of you, would you strength check her?
Absolute.
Strength check me. I got a 19.
Oh, fuck. Definitely got a 7.
All right, so Say would like you'd go to push, and she would push in front of you, and her like wing would like tense up because she's a little bit scared. And she would say, if you're going to bring Latine back, is he going to have you done this? Will he have his memories? Will he know who I am? Mar he's not going to remember anything from the past. He's just going to go back to doing work for me. It's not bringing his life back. It's bringing his body back. He'll have a new soul. And he'd smile. You'd watch, and the way Mar smiles, I'm going to explain. Because Mar's head looks just like a skull. A weird, twisted up looking skull. And you'd watch as the skull like shifts and like pulls back almost like it should have skin. But it's just bone rolling backwards into a smile. And she would Say would turn and be like, well, then it's not Latine, and you can find somebody else. Right, Dusk?
And this would be about the moment Jathir would push Ivan forward, and we would step out of the tree line.
Ivan does not fall. That was very nice. I was gonna, if I rolled that one, I was gonna have Ivan fall into the water. But also, Dune Tall, this is about the time you'd pull up as well. Just so you know. You and the 3 other orcs that you brought with you would approach around now. You would be approaching and seeing this from the tree line as you come from the side. Jathir, you and Ivan push out, and you'd hear Mar still speaking, and he would say, you decided to come from the bushes finally. The other children from up top. And he would turn, and in his way of like shifting, he would turn and look and go, and Jathir, I guess it's always a pleasure to see you again.
Jathir would give him a slight bow. Father.
Right. Have you done well?
I do my job.
Good. Please remove these children so I can bring my other son back, yes?
And Jathir would look up and be like, say, Daskara, we'll need you to move aside so Mar can finish what he's here to do. Rhea and your sisters should be arriving shortly.
Dune Tall, this is your turn.
All right. Duntal's probably not too sure about what the big guy standing in front of him is, but he knows that
I think Duntal, you would have an inkling of what he was, but it would also be like a moment of, I'm not going to make you roll a panic dice because you have fought enough demons, but you also would be on edge because while there is an idea of you've been in the presence of higher end things, you fought dragons, but this is something that has a presence that is a little bit more. So you would have an idea that this is a deity level creature, but until you heard, and then as you hear Jaheer say Mar, it would click.
Okay.
And I think that would be a moment of, there'd also maybe be, I don't know how you would know that this is the person that did what he did with Rog.
Right.
So with that information, by all means.
Well, I guess he would, Dune would do his best and speak up. He would start. This place is memorial for friends who have been lost. Friends cannot fight here. Like kind of gesturing like towards everyone.
Right.
Wise words. I would not advise a fight. In fact, I quite agree with what you said. Family is that who you choose and not who you are born to. You are not the only child of the Creator that has been spurned and looked down on for the circumstances of their birth and the events of their life. You have your own free will and you are free to choose.
Duskar would look over and be like, oh, that's rich coming from the guy who helped put us in the tower. Don't talk to us about choosing and freedom of choice. Would
you have rather Ivan and I, who understand you and say more than the rest of your siblings, have you restrained to a tower where you are at least comfortable and in a place you're familiar with, or would you rather deal with Rhea and Balzeth hounding you 24/7 for the last 3 months? You took the opportunity to grow more powerful and accomplish your goals. That is the exact thing Mar rewards.
Reward. Wow. Say would just like almost ignore you, Jathir. And she,
as expected.
Yeah. But she would like look around and she'd be like, if you bring him back, I'm coming too. Does anybody speak Abyssal?
I do.
I know you do. All right. Mar would speak back in Abyssal. And it would sound like a collection of like quick, very fast consonants with certain words like sprinkled in, because you speak Celestial, I believe, Duskara. So you'd pick up the words that are the same. In Celestial, though, the word say is sapphire. And so as he then speaks to Sapphire, it would it would ping her name, or say his name would become Sapphire in Abyssal. And he would explain that he doesn't care who follows or comes with him, because at the end of the day, he's here to do his job, and he's following his other sister anyway, because it's almost time for her to attack the island above. And gesture towards Rael. As he gestures towards Rael, I believe that's when you would see Belzoth and Reyes coming down to join everybody with a collection of a couple of the other angelic guards without Amber, Set, and Zahir. And let's take a break for a couple minutes on that note real fast, because I need to cough a whole bunch. Welcome back, everybody. All right, so Rhea and Belzoth are coming downwards. Mar is talking to Say and Duskara and everybody else, and he says, and then he would say in his voice, so you'd actually hear him speak now from below his bone mask, so it wouldn't be in the back of your head, it wouldn't hurt. He would just say, right, move, let me bring him back, and then you may, of course, escort him in his duties.
I think Deskar would reach for Say at that point and kind of like, pull her back and be like, let him do his work.
In a it's like a dark purple hue of very fey-essent light that kind of cracks through the ground, and you'd watch as Latine's body forms out of like roots and these yellow flowers and red like vines, and even just the ground itself terraforms around it. The water pushes outwards, but there's this carefulness to it, like almost like a fatherly, like picking up an infant out of its crib and making sure not to disturb the area around it, although it is like pushing water away and like ripping apart the ground slightly. There's like this like quiet, almost tranquil way. You would notice, Dune, that he is not disturbing Rog's memorial. Not like, this is not destruction. This is a very careful, patronly approach to resurrection.
Right. I feel like Deskar would find that process very beautiful.
Before you is this boy with it's Latine, but his clothes are gone. He is like this like he's like sitting in the water, so his like waist up, his waist down is covered by water. This like murky, now like very muddy water because it's kind of churned. And Mar would reach into his cloak and pull out like this it's like this brown, dark green hide cloak that, and he would say, "Here, you should wear this. It will keep you safe." And Latine, the body of Latine would reach up and put it on. Rhea, you would see all this as you land. Dune, you see it all as you walk in, as you're there as well. Mar would turn and say, "He doesn't have a name. You're going to have to figure that out. I do not know yours, though. You are a new Sapphire's assistant? Friend."
Sorry. And she would bow, teacher, protector, Jaskara.
"This is my best friend, and she is my teacher, and she's everything. This is Dusky." And she would, like, shake you out of the bow.
Be like,
Mar would nod. "Right." And then he would speak back in Abyssal, very formally, being as charismatic as Mar can be in the situation that he's in. And he would say, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Umbra." Umbra being your name in Abyssal. Fantastic. So.
Can we privy note? Write that down somewhere, privy? Come back to that.
Yeah, you can put a pin in that.
Oh, God.
Mar would turn and greet you, Rhea. You have met. Maybe, I don't know if you've met Mar in person, but you are probably the closest thing to knowing who the fuck he is in person, other than Jathir currently. Ivan, before Mar can speak to you, Ivan, I think, would step forward and say, "Right. Well, you said you were here to follow your sibling. Does that mean that we are in imminent danger? And if so, you're going to take care of it, yes?" I'm going to give Jathir a moment to react before I start mouthing off.
Knowing Mar and knowing Ivan and both of their personalities, I don't think Ivan's crossed the line yet, but Jathir will be ready to cast silence if it sounds like he's going to go too far, but at the moment he's just going to let him speak.
Okay.
Jathir's overall goal is for both the creator and Mars to watch over Ivan, so that's what he's going to do.
Rhea and Duntal, by all means. Both of you can interact or remark at this point.
I feel like, because I hadn't heard Jathir's whole comment, I just got here.
Yep.
So my thing would be just to lean over and be like, "I'm sorry. Are we just letting anything happen while your student, pupil, whatever, is running this floating island? We're just letting deities show up? We're letting Mars show up? What's going on?"
Rhea, I always assumed you were better informed. Well,
Can you not do anything right?
would you like me to defer to you in this situation? Would you like to be the one to speak with Mar? I can see that going very well.
Then ask him to leave. Do your job. Do something. You had Say break out of the tower. Your guards couldn't even get Amber to come here. I tried, trust me. But ultimately, you're responsible. So let's try to make it 3 out of 3 today, possibly. 1 out of 3, we'll get something right.
And with that, Jathir's just going to completely disregard Rhea and look back to Mar and Ivan carrying on their conversation and be like, "Just watch instead of speak for once, Rhea. There are bigger things going on than your personal feelings."
Sure, whatever. Fine, personal feelings. Okay. I'm listening.
Duntal.
I think he, shaking a little bit, he would take a step forward, knowing that he's got the orcs behind him. I think he would address Mara directly. Duntal is fights to protect the people. What does the large one know about this danger coming?
Mar still facing Ivan. You would watch as like an after image peels away from him to face you as well. And he would step down so that now he is in the water as well, to get almost on eye level with you. Like it's a very much like this is a deity stepping down from floating now so that he is on the ground level with everybody else. And he would look around and like I said, while I did come to gather my protege, I come because I needed his body, or else, and I wanted to get here before Entropy got here. She's on her way. I believe most of you probably would know that you have to have been fighting demons for a while at this point. And I believe it's tonight that her herald should be here. Or any minute. And he'd look up again.
I feel like at that point, Rhea would immediately, because Belzok followed her, right?
Yeah. Belzok is like holding his swords, like he is ready to strike at Mar.
Like she would look to him like, we need to do something. We can't let this keep going on.
Did you not hear him say Entropy was coming?
I heard. That doesn't mean I'm going to just let it happen.
Ivan will speak up, kind of in front of everybody again, because in his mind he's still talking to Mar. And he would say, if Entropy's on the way, I need to go ahead and finish what I'm doing so that we can leave. Jathir, I have to go back up top.
I'm sorry, leave?
Rhea, please, stop being a child. We're not going to sit here and fight a war against something that we've already lost a war against.
Oh, so you just plan on abandoning everyone? That seems more childish to me, in my opinion, but whatever.
Good.
His plan is to save those that wish to be saved.
Yeah, the ones that specifically follow your ideology.
The worthy, yes.
If friends work together, we might have a chance at stopping the incoming force.
I agree, Duntal.
Belzok, for the first time, will speak up. And Belzok will say, yes, we will stop the incoming force.
Yes, we will.
Deskar would be like, this has nothing to do with us.
Well, Deskar, you and Say are more than welcome to come with us. We have much more in common than you two often like to believe.
Say now will speak up in front of Rhea for the first time. And Say will say, I'm going with Mar and Latine.
Okay. I don't care.
Good.
You've caused us nothing but trouble anyways.
Say will, for a very slight moment, she'll before she like very much hardens her face, she will look hurt and then like shake it off almost, and then nod and be like, of course. Well, good. The boy that Latine will look around and he'll speak up. I what is happening? You're muted, Morgan. Oh. Yeah. Latine will look around and be like, what is happening? And then Say will turn and be like, Latine, it's okay. And he'll shake his head. I don't know who anybody is. Is my name Latine? And then Ivan will smack Latine on the back before he takes off and say, it might as well be whatever you want it to be. I'll talk to you later, Ron. And then he'll take off into the sky.
God.
I think at that point, like Daskara would kind of like maybe have like some of like the vines or something like grow around Latine and be like, your name is Latine and you are a beautiful soul, right? And you and Sapphire, should I call her Sapphire now? You and Say, you know, were beautiful together type of, you guys were close friends and you've been resurrected.
He would look deep into thought, and then Mar would say, what you are is important. Please come back to us, and we will go somewhere and figure it out together. Yes? And he'd put his hand out, and Latine would say sure, and begin to follow. And Mar would turn and say, you all have but a short time here to get ready. You should probably, if you're not going to leave, prepare yourself. I do not believe Entropy is someone to take lightly. My brother, after all, got hurt from her. And then he'd look and say, Rhea, have a good one. And like nod.
You too.
There is a choice that you need to make here, Daskara. Cause Say is leaving with Mar. This could be where you exit, if you'd like.
I think Daskara would go with Say, right? She doesn't have any ties to any of the angels. As far as she's concerned, they have kept them apart and they've always locked her in towers and didn't believe in her, any of that stuff. So if Say wants to go with Mar, I feel like it would be a good escape out of kind of the grasp of the angels that we've never been able to do ourselves, which is originally why we made that deal with Grog.
Right. Rog.
Yeah.
See, another not Duke.
We're not doing this. Great. Mar would take a step and begin to leave the ground, and Say would call out, I can't fly. And he would stop and turn. What do you mean? Oh. And he would see her one wing. And he would think, and you'd watch as his he has these large black, almost like ethereal, like hard, like some of the angels have hard light constructed wings. His are like shadows been made into like, but you can never really see the edges of them. It's like spider web wandering out into the distance. And he would turn and say, I see. And he would land. And being the spectacle that Mar is, he would lean over to the side and tear one of his wings off and drop it into the water and hug her and say, it's fine, we'll fly, let's go. And they would take off. And
I think
go ahead.
was gonna say, I think Dune would call out after her. Go, Princess, the people would forgive you. You know, for
Ooh, please
probably tell
roll a
that she's
charisma
still-
check.
Wow.
We'll probably still
I love
I'm trying to
that.
figure out like how Descara is going like with them because she doesn't necessarily fly. I mean, I could probably do like
all right. That is a 2.
Okay. She clocks it in her head but doesn't react. She's now looking at Mar like he has done something for her that nobody else really ever has other than Duskara.
And Dune wasn't really trying to like get her to turn back. It was more of just like
She
trying to
clocked
get
it
her
though.
to, like,
I will
relieve any
definitely say
guilt.
she clocks it. Duskara, you and Latine are there. Latine's thinking very heavily. And then he would turn and say, do you fly?
not easily, I guess would be the correct response.
I can cast fly on you this time.
That would be appreciated. Thank you.
If you do though, you have to carry me because I have to think hard on it, and if I get scared, it'll stop. So let's not go high.
Of course. And she would like make a nest of like vines to kind of wrap him in so that he would feel safe.
Mhm.
And she would put in there like yellow flowers, kind of the same thing she saw Mar kind of recreate him as, in terms of like hoping he would feel safe in her arms.
He would cast fly on you, and the way he casts fly is it would feel like the wind is like pushing it up into you, and you would be able to like step into it and like float, and like the more you like lean into it, the faster you would go. And while you are catching up to him, he would be talking, and he would say, that man called me Ron. I think I like the name Byron. I'm going to go with Byron. And then he'd lean back and take a nap. Let's go to Amber. No, actually, I think Jathir, you have a lot of explaining to do, actually, now that I think about it.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, Betty. I mean, like you weren't there when he,
That's true.
said the whole Betty thing.
Ivan goes away.
I mean, but I'm still suspicious as to why he's so chill about all this.
So by all means, it's you guys. Who is Belzak, Duntal, the orcs, Jathir, and Rhea? You were standing in the water, where something wild just happened.
Rhea would look to Belzak and be like, I know we have an alliance with, and she would look at Duntal. We're not gonna break our promise. We're gonna continue to protect these people as long as you're with us.
Likewise.
Jathir, you're with us or against us?
I
I
am
won't
with the
hesitate.
best interests. I am with the best interests of anyone who wants to make their own free choice.
Okay, and I'm making my own free choice right now. You're with us or against us.
We will see.
Belzak, Duntal, we need to get ready for whatever's coming. Whatever that entails, we need to make it happen fast.
Belzak would look around, and then look towards Duntal. You always have my men. What should we do?
Would you turn away the help of those willing to help deal with this situation when you know what's coming? Rhea, you don't want us around anyway, so why would it hurt you if we leave? In that case, you would get to take over. Is that not what you want? You'd have the additional help and Lord Doontal's armies to deal with entropy, and then we can do what we need to do. I give you my word on this. Ivan and I have no intentions of hurting you or anyone in the direct family for any reason in particular. We simply are tired of this. The expectation, the blind faith, well, you know how you are.
No, no, I don't. Please, enlighten me. How am I? Because in all honesty, it seems like you're just doing the same thing that you're claiming I'm doing, but on the opposite end of the spectrum.
How much help have you given Balzath in raising his armies? What have you done to assist your charge in achieving his goals? How do you think that you running around being in everyone else's business makes you a better advisor than even Daskara, who did everything in her power to make sure her charge was seen to in the way that that charge sees fit? Is that not our goal?
It makes it a lot easier when everyone else does what they're supposed to. Your charge blew up the ceremony on the very first day. Say's charge, Daskara's charge, Say, killed an individual, killed a child. Amber's in there doing God knows what kind of magic with her. Someone has to keep this place running, because apparently you can't do it. So I'm the one that's walking around. Yes, I'm in everyone's business because you all are acting like children. And if that's the case, I will treat you like the child that you were acting like.
Remind me, before Ivan and I took over, weren't you the one leading the Wardens? Didn't your lead bring us to this? You speak of Say, you speak of Daskar, you speak of Ivan. All I see are three people living their lives the way they want to that does not line up with what you want.
I'm only looking out for what is best for them. And as you so admirably told me earlier about how I should have had precautions in place at the ceremony, that was my job. That's what I'm trying to do right now. And you're just getting in my way. And she would just push and walk past him.
Damn. Nice.
That's exactly it, Rhea. It's no longer your job to make preparations. That time has passed. That is what Ivan and I are doing.
Well, then what are you planning on doing? Please enlighten me on your plan.
You don't need to be a part of everything, Rhea. You just need to be ready.
Ready for what? If you won't give me any information, how can I be ready?
You have to survive entropy first. We all do. That's what you need to be ready for.
You're offering help. I'm asking questions. What are you planning on doing?
Get your armies and be prepared to fight. You'll know when the time comes.
And she would look to Belzoth and nod.
Doontal, if you or your men need anything, please let us know. Ivan or one of our associates will make sure your men are outfitted for what is to come. And then Jathir will cast Fly and follow off after Ivan.
Turning to, I guess, Rhea and Belzok, Dune would say, if Dune were Commander Rog, Dune would lead army and face head on. But Dune not Rog, and Orc army not what it once was. how does the city float? Asking Rhea and
Ooh,
Belzak.
that's fun. Okay, so Rhea, you are probably the only one privy to that information. If you would like to be honest, I will go ahead and explain. If not, I'll let you do what you want to do, but it's up to you.
Seeing as Tall is our only option left, and he's been the only one, it seems like, that has been truly honest with her. Probably, yeah.
Okay. This would put Belzak off, by the way. This, like, he wouldn't get upset, but he would be shocked by this notion. She would explain that the 3 bridges that are these hard, like, light construct bridges that look like they are bridging the mountains to the floating island are giant magical wards that hold the island in place above the thing. They raised a mountain and then basically spider-webbed it up there by these giant magical wards that are unable to be disenchanted by a regular threat because they were placed there by Rhea, Levi, and the creator himself when they created this place after the Great War. So Rhea has the power to remove the enchantment and let the mountain fall back to the ground, which would then place it on where you're at. She could decimate this entire area if she wanted to.
Okay. Tall has a plan, but people of city or civilians must be evacuated.
Agreed.
Angelican armies should scout ahead to find which way the forces are coming from.
They are coming from the north.
Okay.
You know that, 100%.
Yeah, okay. I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. No, you're good plan. This is good so far. You know where they're coming from. You are positive where they're coming from.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Jasir and Lord Ivan seemed suspicious, but they did offer help. Perhaps those could lead the people out towards the south.
I feel like, seeing as the last interaction that Rhea had with Belzak, where he got upset because she didn't include him, she would want him to feel like he's more part of this and making decisions too. Like, she'd say, based on your experience, like, out there fighting Belzak, do you think that seems like a good plan?
I always thought the mountain was already floating. Yeah. We do need to evacuate. If Rhea, if you're able to turn, if entropy attacks, she can make the island fall.
Unfortunately.
Then we need to move everybody off of it. I will ask my brother to do that. If that's what it takes. Maybe Amber wants to keep people safe as well. I will go. Whatever you all plan, I will be there for. But I will personally go and ask my siblings for their help. You all, Rhea, please figure out what to do.
Okay.
I have always trusted you. You have always led me the correct way. And he would turn and fly straight upwards, as quick as he can. All 6 of his wings pushing into the now afternoon sky. Amber is in the middle of, like, showing you this sword that she made for herself. And it's not as gloriously put together as yours, but it is still a very nice piece of equipment. And I feel like she also, you saw her daughter for a brief bit. You spoke to your parents. It's the evening now. Not like late evening, but like late afternoon, early evening. And you would see Ivan. The doors to the front are open. You guys are kind of outside in the little courtyard area, like in front of where her spire is. And Ivan would touch down and look over and say, and just say, Amber, Zahir, are you all having a great afternoon?
Yes, and still can continue to plan to do so.
No, of course. I had tried to have them cordially invite you to join us for a meal and to talk over some of the... I would hope that if you guys were going to use magic that is not looked on highly by the rest of these idiots, that you would try to hide it a little bit better. People are getting a little bit scared. It's their fault, not yours. But how is that going for you guys?
So it falls on me to hide my magic from where I grew up. Magic is magic. Why? The notion makes no sense to me.
You know, you're right. Magic is magic. And where you grew up is a problem for nobody. But at the same time, sometimes when you are in a foreign place and they are going to treat you poorly, I'm just asking if you're having a good day. And I was going to ask that maybe we not make as big of an issue out of it. I can tell people that you are allowed to do whatever you're allowed to do, but I can't make people not sneer and not be upsetting. And I would just like you to have a nice time while you're here.
Oh, I see the issue here. It does not matter to me if people sneer. It does not matter to me what people's thoughts are. I care about the people who want peace and who want the people who, not who they think are the most worthy, but the people who actually are. It is those people often shine, and it is often the people who, it's often the people that those who are being sneered at that are the most worthy. So I only really care about their opinions.
Great. Right. Amber, how's your daughter? Does she still collect trinkets and toys and the little, what are they, little dolls? Amber, I think Amber, for better or worse, is not upset at Ivan, but like she's not feeling the like little small talk he's attempting to make. She's like still on a mission. But Amber would say, Ivan, everything is fine. We are fine. We are not coming to dinner. We are not taking part in politics between you and the rest of them. We are going to protect everybody. I will never feel overpowered again. Ivan looks around and shakes his head. Sure. Well, I'm sure Rhea will be here in a short bit to tell you all about how your sister ran away and there is a evil army coming to kill everybody. But I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. He'd bow and turn around and take off.
Do you often have such bombshells dropped at family dinners?
I don't really attend many of them. That seems like a lot.
That is a lot, how they say to unpack.
Ivan is often not dramatic outside of his jokes. So I guess we could take all of that at face value. Well, then let's begin to outfit people. And she would turn and like walk into the armory that she has and not really know what to do from there.
Zahir would help. I think Zahir would grab a clipboard and go and start with inventory of saying, okay, so you have this many breastplates and this is how many swords you have and how many people that we need to outfit. And it sounds like the reason why I came was happening much more quickly than I thought. But there's no time like the present.
Great. You guys begin to hand out to soldiers and to militia breastplates. It's interesting because you guys are more prepped than I would have given you all credit for. So, good job. Rhea, I will let you have a moment before we wind down to the end of the episode. What would you be doing on your way? What is your next action, Rhea?
I feel like
Duntal, you are on deck, actually. I will ask you how you will be preparing the orcs right after this.
All right.
I feel like she would be upset. She feels like she's running out of options because, like everyone says, she has her eyes everywhere and she's confused as to how she missed all of this. And she would, I guess, at that point, just start trying to put band-aids on the relationships that she knows she's probably already destroyed. She would probably want to try to go ask Amber for help because in her mind, we can't let this city fall. And she's gonna start trying to get help from, I hate to say it, almost whoever she can take.
Okay. So, great. We'll say that you touched down around where the same place Ivan did. Not moments after, but a little while after, because Ivan did leave a little bit earlier than that. Duntal, before she has her conversation with Amber, how would you be preparing the orcs?
Alright, well, Dune's probably maybe a little anxious, a little nervous about what's to come, but you know, he's got stuff to do. He's ready to combat it. First thing would be to send a scouting party to the north,
Okay.
really just to figure out how far away they are. So they'll send some orcs out on horses. They'll ride out. When the furthest one finds the enemies, they'll sound a horn, from far enough away, and then so on and so forth. They'll keep
shit. Okay.
sounding the alarm backwards, and so that way we can figure out how far away they are.
Ooh,
That's really
changed something fun. I love it. Okay.
I see. There's also going to be a party of maybe like 30 orcs who are going to evacuate. Those who are less capable of fighting.
Okay.
Or just so the orcs don't get wiped out completely.
Did you want them to go to the south, following the river.
Yeah, they're gonna go south. They're not gonna be like with the other Angelicans and civilians who are evacuating from the city.
Mhm.
Maybe like following behind or like
Okay.
parallel
Very
in a
cool.
general area, so they could fight together if needed, but not like together.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna work on
I'm gonna come
fortifying
back
the
to
place.
your note about the parties here at the end, actually, in a second. Rhea, please.
I imagine this time she would not barge her way in. She would actually knock
Okay.
and wait.
Amber will open the door. She holding a breastplate and a short sword, and like this frilly cloak with her crest on it. This like dark red and golden cloak, and it has like Amber's crest on it. And she's like holding the stuff, thinking that she's about to hand another militiamen their gear. And she goes, "Oh, Rhea, you already have a sword."
Oh, I guess someone must have filled you in about what happened at the meeting today.
Meeting. Oh, Ivan said some ominous things, but I normally take what he says for face value unless he's being a jerk. He seemed serious, so I figured that I would get people ready.
Oh, well, that's great. I was about to actually come and fill you in myself. Guess it was kind of a waste of time.
No, it's not. And she dropped the stuff and hug you. It's not a waste. We have to help. We have to protect everybody.
I know you all think that I do things with malicious intent, but I promise, I really am just trying to look out for what's best for you. Maybe I don't even know that myself. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize to me. I am now strong enough to protect everybody.
We really appreciate your help. I would appreciate your help. I know you care about the people here.
I care about the people everywhere. We have, and she turned and looked at Zahir, and then some large number of breastplates that she has made over 3 months. We have swords and and armor and outfit for everybody, and there's extra food. And my ex has taken my daughter and will be evacuating with everybody else.
Wow, you got all this together yourselves? This is impressive.
Zahir
Amber,
is
wow.
a wonderful planner.
Yes, that is exactly why I came here. And you'll see Zahir in the background. She's got like a clipboard in one hand and holding something else. And then you can just see a mage hand flying back and forth, setting things up and like dilly-dallying. And she would kind of be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the magic thing." And she'll like wave it away. Oh, is that... Okay, I'm getting mixed signals here. Anyways, war. Got it. War. We've been very prepared these last few months. And I think Zahir will go to Amber and say, "Would you like to go say goodbye to Lydia? I can handle things here, and I'm sure that I can fill Rhea in on what we have been doing these last few months. Because realizing now that we do not explain ourselves very well, but we are very well prepared."
No, I think I told Maddie goodbye. She took Virgil, and they'll be safe. If I say goodbye again, it'll seem like it is for a last time, but it is not.
You are absolutely right, and I'm sure that your ex will take care of it.
Yeah, they're capable.
well, then I don't want to get in your way. If I can be of help, please let me know.
You're not in the way. Is Belzak okay?
As okay as anyone can be in this kind of situation, I believe.
In the distance, you all would hear horns. So we'll swing to the orcs far to the north. Their party not having been able to get super far, but still very capable flyers. Since you guys are on wyverns, I'm going to say fastest you could but be. As they crest, the sun hangs low on the horizon line, casting this like golden glow across the mountain line. So as you crest the mountains, the sun will pull into it, and kind of the dark spot, from this dark spot on the sun, you would hear a deep rumbling voice. I am the herald of the end. Flee, for chaos will bear upon you tonight. As a ancient red dragon begins to pierce forward. That is where we will end this episode. Thank you guys. I had so much fun. Dusk, you have been incredible. Thank you for being a part of this. We will talk later about your role going forward. I love you all. Have a good one. Bye, guys.
What the fuck?